Now this is Springfield. Oh boy. At least shows that this machine is this program is at its quantum computer out of control. I can't get into certain place. Can't talk to certain people. Can't have income. But anyway, 4 or 5 days ago, I had talked about my father. And I came to realize today that I was taken advantage of. During the time I was busy studying for my exams and completing my research papers for my 5 courses that I was taking during fall semester of 2023. And that whole entire semester was just horrible. Like during my Thanksgiving day off, my father started pestering me. Oh, you act like a mute. So I had talked about this on the last stream, that my father had mentioned that I talk like a mute, and he said to me, that I'm crazy for being concerned about my school, because it's crazy to not have not finish my education knowing I'm a senior, and that can help me get myself out of this predicament. And then he repeats the word crazy over and over again. You're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy, like a robot. And it would be stupid to say that to a person, who have how many research papers? I think 2 or 3 research papers, and I had 10 pages to do. So while I was completing my research paper for my social problem course, it's called a social issue, my social problem course, 10 pages, and I'm talking about there's an epidemic. So that's something I experienced. There's an epidemic with people being homeless. There's an epidemic with people being homeless in the United States. And it's not just the United States, it's all over the world, right? And I mentioned that it's a social issue. Now, as soon as I started the research papers, when he calls me and distracts me, he's distracting me from concentrating on my research paper. He repeats it over and over. And then what's even more worse is that he started arguing with me about why didn't I go to my mom's funeral. So the way I was situated, it's crazy. The way I was situated back in February 17, 18, 2022 was ridiculous, because not a single one of my family member or my father contacted me. They never contacted me saying, hey, your mom's funeral is at Valley Street. They completely ignored me, which is, pretty unusual to do that to, a family member, knowing that it's their own mom. They all ignored me. And the worst part about it is I had 14 pages of research paper to complete on top of studying for a 50-question exam. And they completely ignored me. My family member, my cousins ignored me. My sister didn't, say, hey, my brother needs to come and see your mom. They all ignored me completely. Like something's wrong with my behavior, something's wrong with me. And you know what? At that time, I was sick with COVID, because my mom, who passed away from COVID on January 29, 2022, which is a Saturday, right, is the one who gave me COVID. And I was sick for months. And even though I was sick for months, my family forced me to take the vaccine, even though I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good before my mom gave me COVID. I was sick for months. And I had announced that on, my YouTube channel back in late August of 2021. after talking about my experiences, after articulating my experiences and talking about my ideas on Reddit, Reddit r gang stalking, I started noticing burning sensation in my throat, headaches. What else? So, crazy dreams, vivid dreams, or nasty dreams. Started feeling dizzy, so, as a person, as a human being, I had to go to the doctor because, I'm sure hell not independent. Like, everybody said that they're independent when in reality they're socially dependent. No one can, govern them. Not a single human being on this planet can, govern themselves. They're not self-governed. If they could govern themselves, then damn, they're freaking geniuses. They know how to do procedures when they're sick on their own selves. And they know how to create medications for themselves without being dependent on people. And that's why I was mentioning about this delusion that people. I'm going to talk about it later on. I'm just going to do this is a quick test and a little talk about it. That this treatment is not human. A human being doesn't behave like this to another human being. Like ignore them. The purpose of ignoring a human being is to actually make change. That's what I'm learning here, is to make changes to the way they behave and the way the way they act as a human being, and also the way they think. Like for me, they wanted the program, right? When it puts me in a predicament that I had talked about back in November 23rd of 2019. Like I said back in that video, that regardless if I pass or fail, the AI is still going to put me in the same situation. It's still going to remove my mom. And I already knew the predicament. And just like when my mom ended up passing away, and my mom ended up admitting herself to the hospital, I'm talking about on December 23rd, 2021. December 23rd, 2021, I mean. It corresponds with my sister. When you add the numbers, when my sister and me and my mom and sister, right, we moved into the apartment on November 16, 2019, which is a Saturday. Now, counting from those days, November 16, 2019, all the way to February 19, 2022, it calculates a number that corresponds with the day that my mom admitted herself. So when you do this calculation, when you calculate the days, like I said, from November 16, 2019, going on to February 19, 2022, it corresponds. The days correspond with the way my mom passed away, and the days that my sister started behaving completely different. So people on YouTube would say, like I had a subscriber, her name was Gina Lynn, she had mentioned that her husband behaved like a completely different person. Well, and my father also said that the way my sister treats me is like I'm a stranger. And that's correct. She treats me like I'm a complete stranger, because that's the artificial mind that the AI gave her to actually perceive me as a human being overall, my very existence. And that's why it deals with quantum cryptography. It deals with the information that the AI shares with the individual agent. And the individual agent is the human being, which is my sister, during the amount of hours she slept. So if she slept for hours, the AI has a whole 100 hours to design that mind, to produce that mind. And, I don't have time to interact with my sister, knowing that I'm a busy college student, like to get that, that information that the AI, distributed to her while she was asleep. I don't have time to get rid of it, because I'm too busy for it. I'm too busy to actually sit down and talk to her. And as I said, when you add those numbers, the date, November 16, 2019, going on to February 19, 2022, it come up to the day of the time when my mom admitted herself. So the amount of days, when you calculate it, it says it calculates to 860 something days. Or is it 850 or 60 something days? And the days that is calculated comes up to the number 23. And I said, that damn machine, it really put me in this predicament. I knew that it was planning to do that. And I don't need the coordinates to actually know how the AI, going to remap my environment. I can go based off of how people, communicate with me and the way they behave. That's how I, understand the situation. it's crazy that I'm, being treated this way. But there's also other people being treated this way. But they don't, go out their way to talk about it every single day. They seem comfortable with the way they're being treated. It's fair to them. Like for me, I've been applying for jobs since I graduated high school of June 2012, and I have not been successful, no matter what job. It could be a fast food job, no matter what job, Burlington, no matter what job I apply for, even in person, nothing works. Everything is ineffective. Nothing works. Go to a temp agency, go to a job agency, nothing works. But it works for someone else. That applies to someone else because it means they meet the criteria based off of what the management program creates for the individual agent. And that's why I'm, treated this way as a human being. I'm treated this way because I know far too much. Just like the AI said back in December 2017 through a cryptic message, a cipher. It made a human being who's not self-aware on Twitch said he knows too much. He's going to be dealt with, and that's his way of dealing with me. It dealt with me. Like I had to move when January 4th, 2024. I had to move the whole entire place. I had to be there by myself, trying to move everything from the apartment. I had to do it myself. I was the last person, like I said, on November 16, 2019, I was the very last person to leave that apartment. First, it was my mom, then is my sister, and then my father's talking like the AI. He said, and I have a voice recording of him saying that, your mom is gone, your sister is gone. He said that on the voice recorder. My voice recorder picked it up. And if someone heard that, they're gonna say, what the fuck are you experiencing? This is not human. This is to the point that I had to say the way that people communicate with me is not human. It's not like a human being talk. He shows no empathy. And he's trying to make my father's trying to make me sound like I show no empathy because I didn't show up to my mom. No one invited me to my mom's funeral, my own mom's funeral. And I'm so busy trying to fight to get my associate's degree in psychology, knowing that the last day of my course is on February 22nd of 2022, and my mom's funeral is on February 18, 2022, which is a Friday. And the next day, my sister left. She comes in the next day, which is February 19, 2022, which is a Saturday, and she picked, and everything corresponds. You know what? Everything corresponds with everything. Just like I look back at my calendar. So I memorized my notes and what I said, and also how I thought at that time. I'm talking about when I was living in Kissimmee, Florida. The time when during the time Nadine arrived to our motel back in Florida on February 21st, 2017. That's a Tuesday. I look at the date, and you can look at the date yourself. February 21st, 2017, and you'll see it's a Tuesday. That is a Tuesday. And then when you look back, before I look back, when you look in the future, now I'm in the future, and I look at the day that my mom's, because Nadine is my mom's father's side of the family. And my mom's father's side of the family is the one who showed up to our apartment, which is me and my sisters and my mom's apartment, back in February 1st, 2022. You feel me? That's a Tuesday. They correspond with one another. And that's why the AI kept bringing Nadine there. My mom didn't even know who Nadine was. She didn't even believe that Nadine lived in America. She said that Nadine lived in the Caribbean, which is Antigua, for her whole entire life. She doubted that was Nadine when she was walking to work. So my mom would tell me, "Oh, that's not Nadine. It looks like Nadine," until she runs into Nadine again, which is in Walmart.
If I use this, will it interrupt you using the Wi-Fi? I didn't mean to get in your business or nothing.